What's up, guys? It's Simply Pete here. Today we're going to be talking about the sneak peek that just came out today, which is the fact that there is 4 new cards coming out. Like I said in my last video, I predicted there was going to be 4 cards, although I didn't expect 2 legendaries and no rares. So that was a very big surprise to me, actually. If you don't know already, the 4 cards are the Bowler, the Ice Spirit, the Log, and the Lumberjack. And the 2 legendaries are the Log and the Lumberjack, while the Ice Spirit is common and the Bowler is the epic. So instead of having 1 common, 1 rare, 1 epic, and a legendary, there are 2 legendaries, 1 common, and 1 epic without any rares. Now, let's talk about the Bowler. If you play Clash of Clans, more likely than not, you know the Bowler, and you're familiar with how it attacks. The Bowler, it costs 6 elixirs, so it's not that bad. And some people might replace the Royal Giant with the Bowler, since the Bowler actually does more damage, and every time it attacks, it can knock back troops by 1 tile, which is a big, it's pretty good. Although if you have a fireball and that causes you to misplace it, then not good, I guess. But hopefully that doesn't happen. And it does more damage than the Royal Giant because it does 226 damage per hit at level 4. And they're really good counters to like the spam decks, and they're better than the Wizard and Bomber and Bomb Tower. If they have a storm coming, you put a Bowler, it could completely destroy the entire place. It only takes 1 second to deploy, although it does move quite slow, and it can only hit ground, but its range is pretty big, and its speed is pretty fast too. Now, let's move on to the Ice Spirit. When they added the Fire Spirit, I really didn't think about the Ice Spirit. I didn't think they would add something like it, but apparently they thought otherwise, and they added the Ice Spirit. This new card, the Ice Spirit, only costs 1 elixir. The only problem is, only 1 comes out, so it's really easy to counter it. But this Ice Spirit can freeze troops for 2 seconds, which is a lot. Like a lot. And its range is pretty big too, because it can cover an entire minion horde with 1. 1 can cover an entire minion horde. Also, you can stop some big pushes by using it, because it only costs you 1 elixir. And look at this. Ice Spirit can stop the charging prince, which is really good. The Ice Spirit can also attack both air and ground, and it only freezes for 2 seconds, but that can be very useful for decks like the Hog, Royal Giant, P.E.K.K.A. So it's sometimes really good. Now, let's go on to the legendaries that you unlock at Frozen Peak. You unlock all of these cards at Frozen Peak because they have to have new cards for the new arena. So the Log is the first ever legendary spell in Clash Royale. It only costs 2 elixir, and there's no way to destroy it. Yeah, there's no way. No matter what you put, it cannot destroy it. But it will get destroyed once it reaches 9.6 tiles distance. That's the only way it will get rid. You can stop big pushes with this. It can kill in 1 hit the princess, goblins, spear goblins, skeletons, and almost kill archers, depending on what level they are. And it does a lot of damage against barbs too. So this is a really good push against with Hog too, because they can put goblins or spear goblins, skeletons, and then you place a Hog, it completely destroys those. The only problem is with that deck is if they have any airs, they counter air. That's the only thing. Okay, now let's move on to the last card, the Lumberjack. And its description is he chops down trees by day and hunts the log by night. What's very special about the Lumberjack, the reason it's a legendary card, is because whenever it dies, it drops a rage spell. And the Lumberjack only costs 4 elixir. And it's like the same damage as a Barbarian, which is why it's a legendary, because it does damage and it drops a rage spell that lasts about 8 seconds for only 4 elixir, which is a lot more worth it than a rage spell that costs 3 elixir. So the rage spell can be really useful. You have a huge army push going, and you have that. Make sure that's in front. If you're gonna use this, make sure it's always in front of whatever your push you have, because you want it to die. This is like one of the only troops that you want it to die to help you. And it moves fast too, and attacks pretty fast too. The only problem with this Lumberjack, the log, and the bowler is that none of them can hit air. But with the Lumberjack, you have a good push going, you have some good tanks, it's really good. The log is mainly for defense, but it's pretty good for offensive too. The bowler, if you have any like splash damage, like wizard behind it, it is really effective. So that's all the 4 new cards this update is bringing. There are also some minor changes, like minor things about this update. Okay, my Wi-Fi's not too great, but I don't need it. So one of the things is the zap spell. Every time you zap the Inferno Tower now, it resets it to its lowest damage. So I don't think I'm going to be using the Inferno Tower anymore, because it's not that useful, especially if they have zap. I'll probably trade the Inferno Tower with the zap spell. Another thing is since the tournaments is on the last page, they have to move TV Royale to this page where they switch it with the practice or training, and they're moving the training right here, just to the right of the average elixir cost, and right above card collection, how many cards you found. So that's basically it for now. There will be more updates coming tomorrow, more sneak peeks coming tomorrow. And since I have lost connection, that will be the end of this video. And please remember to like and subscribe for more videos.